Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to be looking at the last 8 PR signals on NQ. So the first thing I want to make a note of is that these signals date pretty far back, right? So we're looking all the way back here to Monday, December 30th. So this is essentially the entire week's worth of PR signals. We're going to be looking at each and every one of them. We're going to discuss the entry, the exit, and the stop loss. And then I can kind of break down how it actually ended up playing out, how much you would make on one contract, etc. So the first one we're going to look at is here. So we're going to use this replay button and I'm going to take us all the way back to essentially where the PR happens. So what's nice is here we're touching previous day demand. So we're looking for a potential bounce here anyway, right? We've already seen it multiple times in the past. You can already see we tapped the EMAs as well as a previous day demand, then bounced. We also did the same thing here. And so we're looking for another potential bounce, and then we get the PR signal right there. So again, what I like to say is the PR signals that are also backed by an additional piece of conviction, ideally even two pieces of conviction supporting that thesis, are always a go-to, especially the strongest demand zone and supply zone that we have, which is from the previous day. So here on this trade, we enter right there, and we're looking for a pullback right into the EMA clouds. Our stop loss is going to be utilizing this stop loss line, so a close below this stop loss line is going to be where we stop out, and we're looking for a push into the EMA clouds. You can see on the next candle, we actually do get a push into the EMA clouds. So within 5 minutes, your target is hit, and this is a 24-point move. Now, it doesn't look too big on the screen, but we also have a much larger range this week in terms of price movement. So that candle right there was a 25-point candle nearly. That means 500 points for one NQ contract. So it's a pretty significant move. And then we go ahead and take our profit at the EMA cloud and we're out. Now, in terms of, we're going to also capture the rest of the move because I'm just going to do a candle by candle price recap here. So you can see we actually end up going a significant amount higher. Um, let's see where we actually pivot. So we pivoted right there, but the full move before we pivot was about 38 points. So it's a nice little reversal there. And then we're going to go and continue and look for some more. So we're just going to keep skipping until we see another PR. So this is another reason that I want to do it this way is so that you can see that you need to be patient and then time really does go by before the next PR. So this helps you to overtrade with overtrading, right? So if you actually tend to overtrade, if you just wait for a proper signal, that can help you a lot with that. So let's take a look at the next one here. So you can see that we had a nice reversal here. We were kind of continuing up each time we were pulling back into the cloud and just, very slowly just ripping higher. And then we get this PR signal. So again, just like the other PR signal, our stop loss is a close above. I don't do wicks, right? Because wicks are typically used as a stop. And if you think about it, this is marked as a stop loss area because it's a heavy point of resistance. So it's not inconceivable to think that we would wick through it, and then because it's a strong resistance, we get pushed back down, and then we continue to our target. So anyway, we're looking for a pull back into the EMA clouds, right? So we're looking for a push down, just like I said before, and then we're going to go ahead and see how that plays out. You can see, boom, we tap the EMA clouds right there. So initially here, that move is a small little 7-point move, right? From the, actually, I guess it would be more like, yeah, it's about a 7-point move, 7.5-point move. So about $140 per contract. Now if we continue, if you want to hold further into the cloud, you see we do actually pull back further into the cloud. And ultimately, it's a massive downside reversal that actually ends up being for, again, over 40 points. So while I'm very conservative scalping these, you can definitely, if you have the balls to do it, you can hold on some of these and continue and get a very fat profit out of them. But again, the reason that I stop out at the EMA cloud, or I take my profit at the EMA cloud, is because there is a potential, as you can see, when we have a trend in a certain direction, we oftentimes just pull back into that cloud and then buyer step in, and that's the pullback we need to continue higher. So that covers two of them. I'm going to go ahead and continue until we find the next one. And look at what's nice about these auto demand zones, auto supply zones is they do give us these nice little areas where we can see bounces. Look at that, how many times we bounce in this one. And boom, right? We got a nice PR right there inside, speak of the devil, inside that zone. So let's take a look at this, right? What's nice about this one is we have double auto supply, double auto demand here. Now this is the auto demand that we really care about, right? I say double because we actually formed one here and then we formed another one on top of it. So we have double demand zone and we have two auto support levels, these white levels, right? So we're closing inside a huge area of support and then we also have the PR signal. Again, stop loss is that line. We are targeting a push into the EMA clouds, and it's as simple as that, guys. Boom. Okay, that candle alone, right? If you go into the EMA clouds, that got you 10 points, 200 points per contract, but that candle alone topped out at a 21 point move, which is over $400 per contract. And then we actually made this massive move here. Um, if I told you how many points this was, I think this was absolutely insane. Let's go ahead and extend that up here. I mean, we're pushing over 120 points, which is well over $2,000 per contract. Okay, go ahead and continue and look for the next one. You can see here this total move is over 150 points. Obviously, I'm much more conservative, only looking for a target into the EMA cloud. Okay, and then there's the next PR. So I'm going to go ahead and hit replay. And I always say that I'm looking for additional piece of conviction with the PR signal. So here, our additional piece of conviction is tapping VWAP, right? Strong area of support. So we're tapping VWAP here. And again, we're just looking for a push into the next area of major resistance. So in this case, it would actually be this area of multi-level supply. So this is the automatic supply zone as well as the one from the 5-day prior. So you can see it also ends up coinciding with the EMA cloud. And this is a total move on just this one candle of 25 points, or again, $500 per contract. Our stop loss is the generated stop loss here, and that also coincides with the VWAP. So let's continue, look for the next one. You can see that we retest multiple times the EMA cloud and just keep continuing further here. Again, this is why I always take pullbacks into the EMA cloud, because a lot of times we end up just retesting, following the same trend and pushing back further down. Okay, this is another great example. This is one where, like we said before, we're getting that automatically generated demand, so that zone that automatically plots with the script. You can see it was actually tested and held multiple times for a bounce into the EMA clouds, and now we're retesting it again, this time with a PR signal. Same idea, right? We're using that stop loss line. If you're extremely conservative trader and you don't want to use that stop loss line because it's a bit far down, you can just use this zone. If we close below the zone, stop out of your trade. Again, we're looking for a push into the EMA clouds here. You'll see, boom, immediately we get a push into the EMA clouds as well as previous day demand, and we just top out right there at the 21 EMA. So that move in its entirety is 44 points, so $880 per contract. So definitely want to be out there at that area of supply for me as a trader. If it continues higher, it continues higher. If you want to make your own way of trading this where you scale out, like let's say you're trading like 8, instead of one NQ contract, 10 minis, and you scale out 8 minis at the actual target and you leave a couple runners and then put a stop loss so that you still are in profit on the trade, whatever, however you want to do it. This one didn't go much higher. It only pushed up a little bit, about 17 points, actually, about another 20 points, right? Another, I guess, $400 per contract, and then it pulled back down. But actually, we never stopped below the technical stop loss of the PR, right? We never closed below that stop loss line. And then we retested that zone again. You can see these zones are really strong support when we get them. We're just going to continue to the next signal here. Okay, there she is. So I'm going to go ahead and take us back. So this is one where I kind of, this is why I tend to use a close below that stop loss line as opposed to a wick below. So again, it's very simple. That is our stop loss level. And here I'm looking for a push into previous day demand, right? I'm not trying to go hold through all of this supply here and then go for the EMA clouds. If the EMA clouds end up crossing over this target zone, sure, but I'm not going, I'm holding to the previous day demand zone. You can see we wick through, hold, and boom, we hit our target if you're patient. So that was a move of about 25 points again, or about $500 per contract. And then here is where some magic happens. This is probably one of, if not the most insane PR ever on NQ, where we actually end up ripping an insane amount. Oops. So actually, I'm going to go back and cover those in a minute here. But the total move here is 176 points, which is about 3,800 a contract or something like that, or 3,400, something ridiculous. But anyway, so I'm going to take us to the next PR here. So here we have a PR. What I can do actually is if you want to draw your own little supply zone on this one, you can, because you can see that it failed to break this area of resistance here. Now again, we're just looking for a pull back into the cloud. This one's a little bit less lucrative. So that total move right there would be, I don't know, about 10 points or so. So we're going to go ahead and see, right? Immediately pushes right into our target. But like I said, that move was about 10 points-ish. It's about $200 per contract. Never tapped anywhere near the stop loss line or even actually closed above our little supply zone that we drew ourselves. Ended up being a pretty significant move. Actually, uh, going all the way to the next PR is about 30 points. All the way down here is about 35 points. Same idea, right? Just looking for push into the EMA cloud, stop line below the automatically generated one. Within 5 minutes, our target is hit. We take a nice 11 points or $220 per contract. And there we go. I think we're probably approaching some of the last PRs here. So now we are today, right? So this is Thursday, we're today. And I'm not sure if we had any PRs today, but I'm going to go ahead and skip through anyway. And we had that push into that supply, bounce off that auto demand. Here's when we cracked into, oh, this is nice. I mean, I talked about this earlier, but the previous day zones, we said they're very strong. So look at this pretty insane pivot off that zone. And I believe we actually retest that zone for a double bottom, boom. And then we start to run into some significant resistance at 200 EMA, I believe. And then I think we actually end up reversing heavily, closing below previous day demand, making a new low off of heavy selling volume. And then we just continue dipping. I don't think there was any PRs. Yeah, I think there's no PRs. I think we flashed a PR at the last candle before markets closed, but that doesn't really count. You can see here, because we didn't actually get to do anything. It was 5 minutes before the markets closed. But anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that recap of every single NQPR this week. So it's 8 PRs with entry, exit, and stop loss. So if you guys like it, just let me know. Leave a like on the video and any comments in the post, and then I'll try to do these more frequently. Thanks.